Nothing in life is certain except for death and taxes. So why aren't we taught about them? I want to dive into taxes, specifically property taxes, because knowing could save you thousands. And if you're in Florida, that homestead exemption is no joke. Owning real estate comes with property taxes. It's just part of it, and I want to help you understand it better. In our area, property taxes are collected in arrears, meaning they collect them in November for the previous year. When you pay your property tax bill in November, it's going to be for the year of 2024. If you use financing to purchase your home, you have the option to have your property taxes escrowed each month. This means that you include extra money with your monthly mortgage payment in addition to your mortgage premium and your interest. The bank holds on to this money, and when your property taxes are due, the bank pulls the money from that extra account to pay them. You do not get access to this account. You can also do this for your home insurance. It's kind of like a forced savings account. Most people budget monthly, so if every month you put a little bit of money in, when the bill comes due for the year, the money will be there. Not everybody will have the lump sum if they're not forced into this savings plan. The escrow amounts are an estimate, so if taxes go up, you may still have to pay a little bit at the end of the year to cover the difference. Or if perhaps you put in too much money, you might get a refund. If you paid cash for your property or you prefer to just handle it yourself, you can pay that bill in one lump sum at the end of the year. Remember, when that tax bill does come, the earlier you pay it, the cheaper it is. Every month after its original due date, the costs increase. And that's how you set up the payment for your property taxes. So how do you lower the amount of your property taxes? In Florida, there's a homestead exemption for your primary residence. Realtor.com defines primary residence as, in a nutshell, a primary residence is the main home that a person inhabits. This can be a house, apartment, trailer, or houseboat, where an individual, couple, or family live all or most of the year. It's also the address that appears on an individual's driver's license, automobile registration, and voter registration card. And in general, somebody's primary residence is the home that's closest to a person's employer. A person can only have one primary residence. So if you have a vacation home, those properties do not qualify for homestead exemption. For your properties that do qualify, a homestead exemption does three things. It lowers your taxable value. If your home would be taxed at a value of $300,000, when you homestead it as your primary residence, you get a $25,000 deduction off of that value. So now you're being taxed on $275,000. If you're married and your spouse qualifies, that's an additional $25,000 off of your taxable value. And every single year, that can equal up to hundreds of dollars. There's some additional exemptions you can apply for as well, such as if you have disability, if you're a veteran, a widow or a widower. Make sure you're checking into the details because there's lots of things you can take advantage of. The second thing that homesteading does is it keeps your property taxes under control. In my county of Alachua, a property that's homesteaded, their taxes for their property can only go up a max of 3% year over year. So if the county's taxes go up 12%, my property taxes are only going up 3%, then they're capped. This is massive, and it's so often overlooked, but I had a house I was listing one time, and the owners bought it new construction in 1978 for $8,000. They homesteaded it, and they lived in that home until they left this earth. Over all of those years, their property taxes could only go up a max of 3% year over year based on that original purchase price. So in 2021, when she passed, the house that she had, which was 5-bed, 3-bath, 2-car garage on an acre, was only paying a property tax of $258 per year. After she passed, the homestead exemption went away, and her property taxes were calculated based on today's value. Well, those property taxes went up to $6,000 in 1 year. In addition to saving money on your exemption every year and in being able to keep your property taxes lower, the third thing that Homestead does is if you move to another house within the state of Florida, you can take some of those property tax savings with you and apply them to your new home. This is called portability. Portability is related to the Florida Save Our Homes plan. Florida's Save Our Homes, or SOH provision, allows you to transfer all or a significant portion of your tax benefit up to $500,000 from a Florida home with a homestead exemption to a new Florida home that qualifies for a homestead exemption. This was created in 2008, and it was created to help people keep their tax savings and allow them to be able to sell one home and buy another. Think of it this way. Let's say that homeowner I referenced earlier, who had the 5-bedroom, 3-bath house on an acre, had she decided to downsize to a condo later in life, she is accustomed to and has budgeted for several years to have a tax bill that's no more than a few $100s a year. A condo in Florida could literally be thousands of dollars a year in property tax. With Portability, if she stays in Florida, she can take some of those property tax benefits with her, and that's going to allow her to afford her new place. For every $50,000 in Portability, that equals about $1,000 per year in property tax savings. That's real money. These benefits are huge, and they'll save you tons of money. Remember, it only counts for your primary residence, not rentals, not second vacation homes. When you pass, that homestead goes away the following year on January 1st. Did you ever learn this? Are you a homeowner that maybe never filed for homestead because you didn't think it was a big deal? If so, it's not too late. Get your paperwork submitted and start reaping those benefits ASAP. If you're a homeowner who perhaps offsets the cost of their mortgage by renting a garage apartment or some extra space, be sure to pay attention when you fill out your homestead form, because what you don't know could really cost you. I'm Lindsey Johnson, your resource for all things real estate. See you next time.